I've seen way too many people splurge on a bargain bin camera system, only to end up with choppy footage, constant false alarms, and a box of wires that never seem to cooperate. The regret comes from thinking it can't be that expensive, and then realizing the cheap kit can't keep up with a real-world driveway or backyard that's constantly in motion. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. When you're standing in front of a wall of empty shelves at a hardware store, the lure of a $150 kit is strong. But the reality is that a security system has to work at night, handle rain, and still recognize a family member versus a stray cat. That's where the eufy PoE NVR with the S4 Max cameras tries to pull a smarter move. It's built around Power over Ethernet, so you're not juggling separate power adapters, and the 16-megapixel triple-lens bullet PT units promise crystal-clear zoom without the grain you get on cheaper 1080p models. First off, the setup is surprisingly straightforward if you've ever dealt with a PoE switch. You plug the cameras into the switch into the NVR, and the whole system powers up. No need to run a separate power cable to each camera, which is a hidden time saver that most cheap kits forget to mention. In my own test, I mounted 2 cameras on the front porch and 2 on the side yard. The whole process took me about 30 minutes, including the brief moment of tweaking the mounting angles. The real win comes when you power cycle the system. Everything comes back online without you having to repair each camera. What sets this system apart is the local AI agent that runs on the NVR itself. Because the processing stays in the box, you're not sending every frame to the cloud for analysis, which means you avoid monthly fees and you get faster alerts. The AI can differentiate between a person walking across the driveway and a delivery robot, and it triggers live cross-cam tracking. In practice, that means if a person steps onto your property, the NVR automatically switches the view from the wide-angle lens to the telephoto lens, keeping the subject centered as they move. I noticed this during a test run when a neighbor's dog darted across the yard. The system ignored the animal but followed the delivery driver, who stopped at the back door, sending a concise push notification to my phone. Now, no system is perfect, and there are a few practical trade-offs to keep in mind. The cameras are definitely high resolution, but the triple lens design means you have 3 image sensors to keep calibrated. In low-light conditions, the 16MP sensor can struggle a bit with noise, especially on the ultra-wide side. That's why eufy includes an IR illuminator, but you'll still notice a slight halo around bright headlights at night. If you need rock-solid night vision for a dimly lit alley, you might look at a dedicated IR camera instead. Another hidden cost is the need for a PoE switch that can handle the bandwidth of 4 16MP streams. The NVR can store footage locally on a 2 TB HDD, but if you push the recording resolution to the max on all 4 cameras, the switch can become a bottleneck, leading to occasional frame drops during peak motion. In my experience, dialing the recording resolution down to 8MP on the less critical side cameras gave me a smooth, uninterrupted feed while still keeping the primary front door view at full detail. Who should buy this system? If you're a homeowner who wants a scalable, wire-free look but also values on-premise processing, the eufy PoE NVR makes sense. It shines for people who already have a small network rack or who are comfortable running a single Ethernet cable to each camera location. It's also a solid choice for small businesses that need to keep footage in-house for compliance reasons. On the other hand, renters or folks who only need 1 or 2 cameras will probably find the price and hardware overhead excessive. A single Wi-Fi camera with cloud storage might be a lighter, cheaper solution for that scenario. In terms of daily usability, the mobile app feels responsive. You can jump from the front porch to the backyard with a swipe, and the auto-framing feature keeps the subject in focus without you having to manually adjust the PTZ. The group tracking works best when you have multiple cameras covering overlapping zones. Otherwise, the system defaults to the nearest camera and can lose the subject if they slip into a blind spot. That's something to plan for during installation. Make sure your camera layout creates a seamless corridor of coverage. From a value perspective, the headline specs, 16MP, triple lens, AI tracking are eye-catching, but the real money saver is the lack of subscription fees. Many competing brands charge $10, $15 a month for cloud analytics, while eufy bundles everything into the one upfront cost. Over a 3-year period, that can translate into a $360, $540 saving, which is why the system's rating hovers at 4.3 stars out of 5. Users who appreciate that the footage lives on a local drive and isn't subject to third-party outages tend